hear that crack?
No.
Oh.
The noise cancellation worked.
Yeah. Shit, sometimes I want to do the ASMR.
Can I hear it?
Chris, will you shut the fuck up? I'm trying to do my intro. Hi, welcome to Top
What
Grumps.
are you doing there, Lee?
You're a fucking dick. Hi, welcome to Top Grumps, the show where we aggressively rank off your characters or movies from pop culture. I'm one of your hosts, Lee, and I'm joined by this absolute little rebel who's just trying to get in my way, Chris.
Hey, all right.
All right, Chris. And someone who is respectful, who didn't talk over us, the lovely, amazing Paul. Hello, Paul.
Yeah. Hello, Lee. My favourite Lee. Why is Chris' head so massive in this video? Like, Chris looks like he's like, he could eat all of me and Lee together. He's like a thumb head. Lee, Chris, you looks like he's got a thumb for a head.
He has got a big head, man.
Protein, man.
If anybody ever sees Chris in real life, they'll realise, like, do you know those dwarves where they've, like, got the giant head but the tiny little bodies?
He's like a Puddington pea head.
This is what you get for
I
talking
didn't
over us,
realise.
Chris.
I'm gonna sort my camera out now, live.
Live editing. Look, this is Chris trying to sort stuff out. Oh, he's got bigger. He's got smaller.
Hey.
He's like a small head. Now he looks like a normal human. He doesn't look like he's got a thumb for a head. I still think he should shave his head. It's like grasping onto the last hairs that he's got.
Oh, hot kettle, man.
Mine's just out of pure laziness. It's going to get shaved soon. But we're not here to pick on Chris that much. What we're here for, Lee.
Yeah, now that Chris has stopped hogging the spotlight, Chris, come on, would you like to tell us what we're here to talk about today?
What about a film, aren't we, today? Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
The
best film out of the 80s.
The best film out of the 80s, did you say?
The best. Yeah.
It's up there. That's what she said.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know about the best, but oof.
It kind of just crept into the 80s as well. It was 89, wasn't it? So it kind of
89.
We held on to this one with like both arms and said, "This is the last four-hour adventure of Indiana Jones." That was decent. And again, controversially, I would say the best of the trilogy.
See, I was just about to say it. I do like this one the most, but I don't know if I can say it's the best because Raiders is an absolutely magnificent film. But
I think
it's a bit slow, isn't it, Raiders? Yeah. And this one's there's something happening all the way through.
I think the comedy timing in this one is better. There's more historic cinema elements in Raiders, like the fight scene with the ninja and Indiana and Harrison Ford needing to have a shit and cutting the scene early and then staying in the film. You get the snake scene in the tomb, and then you get the arc of the Covenant melting Nazi faces. So there's lots of iconic cinema, but as a whole, this film is more cohesive and has more entertainment, I would say, and it's got, like I say, it's Sean Connery as Henry Jones, and he plays Indy's dad. I don't think anyone could have done it better.
Yeah, and he doesn't even punch any women.
No, he doesn't slap any women. He
never
uses a closed fist. It's always open-handed.
But yeah, I think like you said, the first one does have its iconic moments. That's got bigger moments, but this one is just continuous. I think that makes up for it. Does put it in the top spot.
I think the only thing that would have made this film better if it had Short Round in. It needed Short Round.
Yeah, but I always find this weird that Temple of Doom is a prequel to Raiders.
So
it's like because Short Round should be like 20-year-old by the time Last Crusade comes out.
Yeah,
he wasn't doing anything, was he?
He didn't do anything for it. Well, he did the Goonies and stuff. So
I love him. He's just what's he called? Ki Hai Kwan?
I'm not going to try and say his name, but he's just a legend in his own right. What was that? Are you going to do his accent there, Chris? Are you going to?
No. Not today.
Not today.
So do you want to just jump straight into the card? Because I think if we start talking about this film, we're probably just going to end up covering all of the things that we want to talk about.
I'm not letting you get away with that first. We'll like say, because Top Grumps is not like some kind of web series now. You are a podcast. You have decorum. You've got to sit to the pattern. You can't just jump around and take advantage of, oh, we've got a card, we're going to base it on the card. No, we're going to review the film, Lee. We're going to sit there and tell us what you thought about it and what was your like. I know we're going to go through like the elements, but no, I'm going to put my foot down. This is going to be a 2-hour podcast, Lee.
Wait a minute, I'm the leader. I'm the one that says when we go.
This is how we're doing it.
Talking about like my favorite things from this film is really difficult. Like just even filling this card in, saying like, "What's your best moment?" That was such a task to pick something out of this film.
Yeah,
like I said, there's always something happening. It's full of mystery, adventure, action.
I love because there's always so many different parts to this movie, but the idea behind this movie as well, like the start, this was going to branch off a new franchise where, like, I know they did the Young Indiana Jones series at some point, but this was going to be River Phoenix as jumping off point. He was going to be playing the young Indiana Jones, because even at this point they were thinking Harrison Ford was getting a bit too old to long in the tooth to play Indiana Jones. They didn't know that he was going to play a few more times down the line. But the idea was that River Phoenix was going to take over. So that was going to be the mantle. And this was kind of like almost like a jumping off point where you saw the young Indy. I thought it was fantastic. I loved that, how it kind of worked. I thought River Phoenix was like a perfect cast as a young Harrison Ford as well.
When did he die?
It was a few years after this. But
I'm just wondering whether it got cancelled because of his death, or did they just decide to not go in the direction? Or
I don't know that. I wouldn't like to make that statement, to be honest, but I do know that this was meant to be, like, say, the idea of it, and they had like River Phoenix in. I think casting wise, I know we're going to do like worst character as well, but I think it's going to be difficult to find someone that is out of place in this movie. Like even going from like the Nazis, like John Rhys Davies was like had a bigger part and was great in this episode of thing. I've mentioned him as well. Like Sean Connery was fantastic, and the kind of rapport that him and Harrison Ford had as father and son. It didn't actually, like, you didn't miss Marion as that banter, because it kind of led that. But yeah, every single element in this movie was done with so much care, and it was just fun. And that's like anything you watch, you're kind of smiling, and it takes you on one of those trips. It's like a real life computer game that you're watching as well, because the action pieces, it's kind of like the build up with set bosses, and it's like a proper action movie. I think adventure movie. I think that was wrong to call it an action.
I was thinking of this as quite like a D&D movie, or D&D campaign. But Indiana Jones has all of his stats maxed out. Like his strength's maxed out because he wins every fist fight he's ever in. His stamina, he's like always swinging and running and doing all sorts. His charisma, like I think he has sex with every woman he ever meets. Apart from his students, hopefully.
Well, the students love him. Like the creepiness when he's in the classroom and someone's wrote "I love you" on the eyelids and stuff like that. That's what Chris does to us sometimes. That's why we don't look at him in the eye. But yeah, Chris, what did you like? Again, you've been very quiet there. Are you just embracing?
I'm just listening to you because I'm listening to you singing its praises, because I've got little nitpicks to pick with it as well.
Go for it. You tell us now.
Because it doesn't fit into the card, right? I'll tell you the parts that
he wants to say that he's best character. His favourite character was Hitler, wasn't it?
Later on. No, right. So do you know when they do with the trials? And the first trial is where the guy goes in first, gets his head lopped off straight away because he meant to kneel.
Kneel before God. Yeah.
Yeah. So Eddie kneels, he dodges the blade coming up. There's another blade that's like body height when he's kneeling down. So a disciple's meant to kneel and then do a roll. And then there's do you know when he steps on the J for the for the Jehovah?
Yeah.
And it's meant to be an I. So when he falls down there, how does he pull himself up?
Because the I is just in front of the J. I had to rewind it and check.
he's on a
He's kind of
the
between
eye.
two, and I'm thinking, let's just let it slide and say most of his weight's on that I, and not enough's on the H or whatever to let it crumble.
But like you see, it's movie magic though as well. That you've got to think, like the leap of faith, like taking a step out on like something that it says you can't see, but just because it's at a different angle, it's total bullshit. I'm sorry, you would see how it would work, but still, it's a good set piece. It's a good thing to kind of like go thing. But again, if you're picking that up, we're talking about a mythical cup that if you drink out gives you everlasting life, Chris. Does that not sound like bullshit to you rather than not being able to pull himself up on a stone?
Well, it leads us to my next point. So you'll have a knight who's been there for like 700 years. Why is he there? You cannot get this goblet, the wooden goblet, drink it and leave with it, or else the place collapses, right? So no one's going to nick it. And to get there, you've got to go through loads of traps. So what's the point of having him there?
Well,
Why didn't he just leave?
Because he found it. He's not protecting it. He just, if he leaves, he would like he'd probably have a longer life. But he's like living there for so long. He's waiting for the next person to come and take it.
Well, Chris, would you like to see what he does in his spare time?
Go on then.
Oh, I'm really sorry. I should have warned you.
I knew you would come. My strength.
Not a wee man.
I knew you'd
You've
come.
chosen wisely.
Oh, that's why he stays. Is that what all of the web stuff was in the cave as well? Do you know what they put
All
through
the
it?
webbing.
Oh, God.
I'll Spider-Man you soon, Chris. No.
Is that why you tell people to kneel in the cave?
Kneel before God. But yeah, like it is one as it is. You find out, it gives a little bit of backstory as well. You find out why Indy's so scared of snakes as well. When River Phoenix's Indy falls into that.
I love the whole
like
twist at the beginning, mind. Where he it shows you the guy with the leather jacket and the hat on going into the cave, and he like lifts his head up, and it's like, hang on, that's not Indiana Jones. What the fuck's going on?
But this is where Chris is going to get his favourite live out. Go and say, Chris, you've been saying to us all day.
It belongs in a museum. Oh, do you know what I've realised as well watching this film? How many times do you hear, was it Professor Jones? If you had a shot every time that phrase was said, you'd be mauled by the first scene.
Well, he is a professor, so give him his goddamn correct title. Give him the respect. He's a professor in archaeology. He's a doctor. Dr. Jones.
But yeah, that whole beginning scene is class, though.
Yeah.
It does build up everything that you know Indiana Jones for. Like, I'm trying to collect things from museums. He gets his whip, gets his hat.
Yes.
You learn about his famous fear of lions.
But
And trains.
I remember, this is, again, Chris is going to laugh, but this is going to show how old I am. There was a game that came out, and I think it was for the Amstrad. I don't know if it was the Amstrad 64, possibly. And Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade game, it was like the tape decks ones, you know, the ones I used to, you put in, you just go,
Is that the one Alan Sugar tried to sell to everyone?
Oh, that was the Amiga, wasn't it? No, that was the Amstrad. So no, this was the Amiga I played on.
Or Commodore 64, possibly.
It was a Commodore. I wasn't posh enough to have a Commodore 64, but it had the Indiana Jones game, and the first level was so impossible to get past because you had to jump on all the different train things while getting chased, and all the different animals used to come out. There used to be like a lion's hand popping up trying to get you. Then there was like snakes and stuff, like a snake's head coming trying to bite you. It was fuck. If you played it now, you'd go, "This is fucking shit." But it was entertaining as hell back in the day. But you used to think you were Indiana Jones. You used to swing with the whip. And then you saw a magic trick. What else do you want? He goes in the trunk and he disappears off the train. Yeah.
What a dick his dad is, mind. He gets home and he's like got the cross and he's like, Dad! And he's like, go away, son.
It's because you didn't know.
I'm tracing this window. Leave us alone.
Oh,
Why does the guy give his hat? That must be an expensive hat as well. Fedoras, like proper ones like that, aren't cheap. It's just like, here's 200 quid, mate.
It's because he respected him, though. That's the thing, because he got his respect for like how he played the game. He just lost, and he said you might not have won today. He's like, kid, but like you might not like it, but this is how it works.
He models himself off him, and he's like, yeah, this man who tried to rob is my new idol.
Yeah. So what was the line? You lost today, kid, but doesn't mean you have to like it. Which again, just is all about Indiana Jones and how he kind of like had these principles. Like he does a lot of wrong stuff in his life, like he kills people and stuff, but he does have certain principles that he kind of lives by. And it's like just being an adventurer. It's like having the balls to go out and just go there and do it. It's fucking amazing.
That whole chase scene as well, like that guy gets back to the house and he's just like, oh yeah, well done, kid. And like the whole time they were chasing him, it's just like, oh, quick, grab him, stop him. One guy though pulls a knife and it's like, I'm gonna kill this child. Who invited this psycho? Jeez.
You've always got to have a psycho in the crew. That's why Lee. This is when Lee kind of thinks himself, shit, I am that psycho in the crew. So Lee would be the one that pulled the knife on the kid. But there's so many different elements. But again, when you think of the story, even though like all the adventure and stuff, it is just basically Indiana Jones trying to show off and trying to impress his dad. He wants his dad's approval. That is all this movie is about. He wants to basically his dad to be proud of him. And even when he's having the discussions with him, like he's telling his dad he was a shit dad, and Henry's like, "Well, you talking about I was a shit dad. I'll let you do what you want. I never grounded you. I never told you no. I never think."
Yeah,
You're the reason why you kind of do what you do now is because of how I was as a father. Tell me I did a bad job. And in a way, it's like he understands, but I think it's got that inner craving that we all want, like a kind of like a father figure or someone that like you can teach you right or wrong, or even like give you a certain thing. So, and again, I don't think any one of us or any person is 100% happy with how, like, say, they always want something different than they had when they were kids, and it kind of represents that you're always looking for what you don't kind of have. But I just thought that was quite an interesting take. But yeah. Sorry to make it all meaningful and stuff like that.
every time that was stuff like what was playing, do you know the Austin Powers when he's like, Daddy wasn't there to change my underwear.
But yeah,
it was just playing in my head.
But no, there's just so many different elements, like the different like chase scenes. They've got chases on a boat. They've got motorcycles. They've got airplane chases. Yeah. Like everything you want in like an adventure and action movie. It had in abundance.
The boat at the beginning with exploding semen. What everyone wants.
Yeah. But yeah, again, as you said, you could talk so much about like the fun elements as well. It's like the changing up from like Indy being scared of snakes, it goes up to like Henry being scared of rats. So he's like going underground and seeing the methane, which probably would have killed him within 5 minutes of being, if there was that much methane around, because it doesn't seem like there's much oxygen. They wouldn't have survived that much well. But again,
that was mental. Where they went in the catacombs under the church library, and they were like, "Oh, this is just petrol," and he's just like, passes a lighter, I'll light this torch, and no one sees any problem with it.
You can see bits falling off his torch as well, and it's like, fuck.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
And also, do you know the dead night that they find the full shield on?
Yeah.
Where they've spent ages trying to find a proper archaeological find where it's saint or someone, and he's just like, right, whoop, upends it, doesn't even look back at it.
But what would you do? Would you die or like to preserve history or
history? I wouldn't have went. I probably would have just burnt alive because my reaction times are shit. I would have just watched them flames come slowly at us because I'd be like, what do I do?
I go, uh-oh.
Yeah.
I think I've invaded Top Grumps a little bit too much there. So thank you for letting me like have my little moment there. So yes, if you just want to do the card.
Yeah, no, this is great. Like it's an amazing film, so we're going to have to talk about it like we have. But yeah, like we'll try to keep these episodes a bit short. I'm starting to think maybe you're just making this long, so when it goes over half an hour, you can be like, "I fucking told yous." to keep it down.
I didn't tell you to keep it down. I said now use a podcast. You need to do longer. You need a longer session. That's what it is.
No problem. Right. Okay. Right. So, best quote of the film. Paul, what always let the guests go first.
I've already said it. Unfortunately, like, my favorite one is like you lost today, kid. But that doesn't mean you have to like it. It kind of sets the tone of like of Indy's life, and it sets, like, if you look back to the other movies like Temple of Doom or Last Crusade, not Last Crusade, Ark of, what's it called? Can't remember now. Raiders of the Last Ark.
Yeah,
Sorry, Raiders. Raiders. It kind of sets the precedent. When you think back and watch them films, it's like, yeah, you can see where it kind of like got that from, and it's quite a decent little thing to add in there. But yeah, there's so many little quotes. I know Chris is going to throw one at me. Looking forward to it.
Well, Chris,
Me?
what's yours? It better not start with seed.
No, it's the stage, when they give Hitler the book. No. Mine is she talks in her sleep.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Yeah.
When they
Yeah,
both realise
when,
they've been having sex with the same woman.
When they both
Talking
realise that they've been inside the same woman for the second time. Because obviously there's Indy's mum. He came out of her and he went in there.
We'll make it dark there, Chris, as well.
This feels weird. I think my dad's been in here.
But she clearly liked Indy better, so even though he was named after the dog.
I didn't see a dog. Oh no, it was a big husky, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was at the start. He was like, Indy. He's get Junior. Why do you call him Junior? He's like, well, Junior was his name. It's Indiana was the dog. And then you get like, say, John Reese's character laughing, going, "Ha ha ha ha! You were named after a dog."
I love that he's in it. Every time I watch this and Bex is there, like, it must have been about like 6 or 7 times I've watched it with her. And every time I go, "Oh my god, do you know who he is?" And she's like, "Oh no, I don't know." And I'm like, "And my axe." And every time she's like, "What? No!" Even though I tell her like every single year.
It was Salah in this, wasn't it? Salah, yeah.
Salah, yeah. I was just about to say, imagine taking the piss out of someone out and being called Salah.
What's your favourite quote then, Lee?
No ticket.
No ticket.
It's perfect, and everyone getting the tickets out like, "Oh shit."
How did everyone understand him? They're all German, weren't they?
Yeah, they just start no ticket, and he shows the ticket, and that's why the others kind of showed it. But the most famous line, and I forgot about it, and I've just remembered it, is Marcus Brody when someone offers him water, he goes, "No, sir, fish make love in it."
Yeah.
The most random thing he's ever said.
So
he doesn't want to. So he doesn't drink water because fish fuck in the water.
I've just had something pop into my head that I've wanted to complain about for years. It's not even related to this film, though. Right? Because when Chris is saying, like, "Oh, but how did they understand him?" So I've just thought of Die Hard. I've never had a chance to rant about this, but I've thought about it. So here we go. When John McClane like has to run across the glass bit just before that, and he's hiding in the windows in front of him, and Hans Gruber turns to Gunther or whatever he's called, and he goes, "I got going to Gunther," or whatever, something in German.
And it Lars?
The blonde guy, and the blonde guy looks at him like, "What do you? I don't know what you're saying." And he goes, "Shoot the glass." And it's like, why did he not understand him when he spoke in his native language? Why did he have to tell him it in a different language that isn't his common tongue?
It might have been because he's like Australian and the other one was German. I don't know. It's all the same.
It's bugged us for years. Anyway, Chris, who's the best character in this film for you?
Indiana Jones. Hands down. He's the best character in the whole franchise.
Which version of Indiana Jones?
Oh, the older one.
Right,
yeah.
okay.
Not young Indy. I mean, I do like the young Indy, but he's gotten out on older.
I've gone for the exact same. Like I've been trying to think, like, I don't want to pick Indiana Jones because it's so cliche picking the main character where his name's the title of the film. But he is the best, like, hands down. Like I said, he's like maxed out in all stats. He's strong, charismatic, and wise. And It's just
I
fucking
think
badass.
if you've done 5 movies, and even in the bad movies, he's still the most entertaining thing to watch. Like, and I don't even think it's acting that much. I think it's just Harrison Ford put in these situations, and it's just either depends on the day he's in. It's like grumpy Indy or happy Indy or funny Indy. Like I don't, and I know they've had plans and ideas to recast Indiana Jones because like it is money whatever you do. Because there's been talks that they were going to do Chris Pratt as Indiana Jones. Shia LaBeouf was going to be a young Indiana Jones. Well, not young. It was going to be like the mutt version of Indiana Jones type thing. His son. Um, but I think Harrison Ford as Indiana Jones, it's timeless.
Yeah.
I think even
Yeah.
old Indiana Jones, like watching like the Dial of Destiny, I still like got goosebumps every time you saw like Indy doing something adventurous, like riding along like New York on the back of a horse. It's just like some things are meant to be, and I think Indiana Jones is Harrison Ford.
I think it's a bit crazy how they took the series from all this religious stuff, like the Ark of the Covenant, and then the 3 stones of that tribe, to the Holy Grail, to then go to aliens and time travel.
Well, if you think about
They're
it,
still
like,
good films.
it's one of those things that if you think about like setting a time like during like when they did like comic books or like things like that, there would basically like things adventures on religious artifacts or aliens or like wacky and wonder stuff. So the IP stands there. But I always laugh when people saying, "Oh, aliens and crystal skulls." I was getting, is that not more believable than the Ark of the Covenant that basically spreads the word of God? And they're like, well, what do you mean? I went, probably there's more proof out there there's aliens than there is God,
Yeah.
but that's controversial, I've just said, so take that as it is. But yeah,
Top Grumps, whatever we say here, doesn't matter.
but again,
Yeah.
that's why I always like laugh because people just get saying, "Oh, it's Indiana Jones." It's like there's voodoo rocks that glow when you see. So you've got to take a like say your imagination and go out. The only things that again you can complain about is the overuse of CGI. The Crystal Skull, that's where things like have you've not got a problem with Indiana Jones surviving a nuclear blast by getting in a fridge, but you've got problems with aliens. To me, it just blows my mind. Again, if you go back to Temple of Doom, they survived jumping out of a plane by jumping on a raft that
Yeah,
lands
the
on a mountain and
inflatable
goes
raft.
down. It's like, yeah, physics doesn't work. It's like it's an action film, it's an adventure film. You've got to suspend your belief and just go with it and have fun. And people seem to take things too serious with that type of shit. It's like, no, this is meant to be entertaining. It's just meant to be a laugh. It's meant to be. It's not meant to change your life. It's just fucking
Yeah.
go with it.
Oh, you've made a really
Yeah.
good point. Especially with that aliens being more believable than chests with ghosts in.
Yeah.
Or an 700-year-old man in a cave giving out sloppy blowjobs.
The internal blowjob of life.
So, who did you see your best character was?
Indy, so I
Indy.
went for a three.
Oh,
Three-way
that's-
tips.
Is this like a
We haven't done a tip touch on the movies ones yet, have we? Oh.
Yeah.
Right.
Got a finger there.
So, worst character now. Myself, I'm gonna have to go for Henry Jones, his dad. I love him. He's one of the best comedic parts of this film. Like you said before, the comedy timing in this is perfect. But as a sidekick on his adventure, he messes everything up. He shoots his own plane. He gets captured twice. He gets shot. He sets that fire in the room when he's like up in through the rope. He's like, the floor is on fire, Sean.
So when you picked worst characters, are just basically the shittest character in the movie or the person who you don't like in the movie?
I think it's just anything you want, because there's probably worse characters than him. Like that Indiana's like little chubby mate at the beginning was pretty useless as well.
yeah?
But no, just whatever you feel like.
Cool, that's fine. I've just changed my mind a little bit, but that's okay. Cool. I'll go with the Lee focus, but yeah. So who's next?
Yeah, you Paul.
you go.
What would you like?
Cool. If we're going for the shittest character, Marcus Brody, just because he got lost in his own museum.
Oh yes, I was trying to think who Marcus Brody was again.
Yeah.
Essentially, who they've copied and made John Hannah Jonathan in the
Yeah.
Mummy films.
Yeah.
That is just him, isn't it?
He's
The
like a
bumbling
museum.
drunk.
He's just a museum curator that is pals with Indiana Jones and just rides on his coattails. He gets dragged along. He gets kidnapped about 1 million times in this movie by everyone. Like the Germans just go, "Ha! Look, there's a stupid white guy walking about in like this like in this area. Let's just kidnap him." And it turns out to be Marcus Brody, and he gets emailed, not emailed because there wasn't an email. They get posted the book. From like Henry Jones's diary, and he loses that within 5 minutes of having it as well. So yeah, he's shit.
I thought he was like. I was going to say, I thought he was reliably unreliable. That's why he wasn't as bad, because everyone knew he was shit and treated him like he was shit. So it was kind of like kind of as expected.
Right.
I think
Expected shitness.
the only thing I cringe at in this film is part of his thing, where I think he gets in the tank with
Right. Oh,
Henry,
yeah.
and they have like the little secret handshake, and they like dance like a chicken or something like that. And it's like you're captured by Nazis, mates. Like you should be a lot more scared than dancing like a chicken.
And while Indy's like hanging on, like to the end.
Yeah.
But again, even that bit's ridiculous. But we have a beautiful moment as well because we think Indy's fallen off the edge, and Henry's quite like shows a bit of emotion and gets a bit sad. But again, Chris will probably hate this bit because it's movie magic. Indy's like all okay and he's walking about, like everyone runs off and his hat blows back and he picks his hat up and puts his hat back on. So his hat, he got his hat back that way as well.
It's a proper movie trope that now as well, like people falling off cliffs. Is it Crocodile Dundee 2? I'm sure they end the film that way, where they think Mix fell off the cliff and everyone's like, "Oh no,
oh no, not someone got shot," and is like, "Oh, I'm gonna have to go down and get mixed clothes." It's like
that's it." Love that. Mixed clouds.
Leslie doing an Aberdeen Australian accent.
Is that the accent of the episode?
I think Australian accents are all right to do.
That's not a knife. This is a knife.
Crikey.
We're just killing the Australian. Like any Aussies listening? Sorry.
The shrimp on the barbie. So, fuck. Right, I'm going to stop because it's too bad. I can't.
We need Chris to do it as well. To do an Australian accent now, Chris.
I don't want any part of this. I'm civilized.
You were doing your Chinese accent just before we came on air.
Yeah, but that was for something else. Top Grumps After Hours.
And the stuff that you were saying about Phoebe as well. Poor Phoebe.
Oh,
she deserves it.
Oh, she's a lovely co-host when I'm on with her. So, Chris, who have you got as your worst character?
Right, I was going to put his dad, and then I thought I was going to put the knight at the end because he does fuck all. And then I thought of another one while you two were talking. Do you know at the start, it's kind of like a group of people. Do you know when they first find the cross and young Indy's like watching them from the background? Them, the gang that's there, the noises they make when they find that fucking cross, they're like, did you notice that?
No.
Oh, they got on like honestly, like proper dickheads.
What noise were they making? Because like your microphone kind of cut off a little bit, I think.
Oh, they were like, "Way, way, woo!"
Do you not get excited when you do a good weld? Do you like, yeah? I'll put a pipe on that bad boy.
It's the equivalent of the people that clap when the plane lands. To me,
Right.
Oh, fuck them people, man.
Should be banned.
Oh.
But yeah, that group of people are the worst character for me.
I think the next one's going to be a bit difficult. Best death. There's so many good deaths in this film. Paul, we'll back around to you. What is your favourite death for this movie?
The Nazi on the tank, like when the tank goes down, you see him like on the end, like and he's going, yeah.
Wasn't sure which one you meant because there is a few Nazi tank things. Like there's the guy on the wheel. Where
It's the real bad, the big bad Nazi that like has a bit of an S&M scene with when um, Indy and Henry's tied up in the chair, and the slapper Elsa's kissing. Like, who doesn't know that Elsa's going to be a bad woman? You stupid idiots. Is saying goodbye to the Indy, and the bad Nazi goes, "This is how we say goodbye in Germany." Boom. Yeah. I'm glad when he died off, like, and the tank fell over, like the big battle scene with him and Indy, that did well, and you see him just poking his head out, and he's like a proper old-fashioned kid.
That is an amazing death, but I always feel like that should be saved for like someone much bigger. Like, this film hasn't got the classic huge muscly guy that that Indiana's like fighting and just can't seem to do any damage to him, punching him in the face and he's just laughing at it. Like the plane guy in the first one, or the massive like muscly guy in Temple. But there's no
The guy with
big
the sword.
huge guys in this one's. I don't think.
Is that why it was difficult to get a boner, because there was no big guys?
Although there's plenty of boner parts in this. Chris, what was your best death for this?
So, because there's that many, I didn't know if I'd pick any the same as you guys, so I've got 3.
Right.
The first one is, do you know when Indy shoots 3 Nazis in a row?
Right.
Oh yes! Oh, I forgot about that.
He just goes, and all 3 of them are like. The other one is, do you know when they're doing the bike chase away from the castle?
Mm.
And he just gets a pipe and sticks it in one of the spokes, and he does like a front flip.
I've got that as my number 2 spot here. That's amazing.
Oh.
Do you
It's
know they
such a
did that
good
on
flip.
But they did it on Mythbusters, and they proved that it was impossible.
Movie magic,
Movie
man.
magic. I'm going to forgive this one.
Oh, the tables
And
have turned, Paul.
The last one, I've done the aeroplane in the tunnel.
Oh, yes.
That's my top one.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's all right. It's okay.
I should have
We'll
been
have the
last.
same top 2.
Yeah.
But yeah, go on. The plane tunnel, I'll let you take that. Go on.
Oh, cheers.
I want
So that's my 3.
a scene by scene description from Chris now.
What? Plane goes into tunnel, too small. Boom.
Yeah, but there's also that moment of realization where the pilot's like, they're skidding past
Catching
the
up
car,
and-
and he's like, oh shit.
You couldn't even press the ejector seat in that moment because you're stuck in the tunnel. You're just like, oh shit, I'm down for the ride now.
What was this guy thinking as well, man? He was flying a plane at low height and went round a corner. There could have been anything there.
Yeah.
Nazis are not very
Movie
bright.
magic, innit?
Remember, these are the people that burned books instead of reading them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
That scene was horrible as well, wasn't it? Do you know when they go to Berlin
Yeah.
and they're at one of the rallies and you see all of the books burn in the middle and you see the Nazi, was it Elsa or whatever she's called?
Yeah.
Her crying because she's like, "Oh, my books." It's like you don't care about the Nazis
The
killing
human-
all the
yeah.
killing all the humans, but there's books burning and you're in tears. All right.
I like to think
This is
that
this is not what I'm signing up for. It's like, no.
Yeah.
I like to think that's like at the end where like that whole thing's crumbled and now there's like no evidence of this place that they can get to unless they like dig, but everything will be knackered by then. The only proof they've really got is this book. So one, like with all of Henry's notes in, one day that could end up in a museum. Like, oh, this man went on a quest for the Holy Grail. Here's Hitler's autograph at the back of the book.
I forgot to go autographed by Hitler as well.
Now, here's the question. If Hitler had autographed your diary, would you have ripped the page out or not?
Yeah.
I maybe
Seeing
would have
that,
kept it separate, just to be like, I've got Hitler's autograph here, like, just as like a little party story.
My great granddad nicked Hitler's signature from one of the concentration camps.
All right.
He went into like a drawer, and obviously it's like a free for all when you're liberating a concentration camp. Nicked his signature.
All right. What did he do with the signature?
Didn't I lost it?
All right.
I thought that was
we need to go on an adventure, Chris. Now we're going to go on an adventure to like say Chris can be short round, Lee can be Indy, and I'll be Salah.
Elsa.
I'll be Elsa. We'll try and find the lost autograph of the Mein Führer.
Could you not be Lee's dad?
No.
She talked in her sleep.
Chris, I thought you were going somewhere else with that story there, mind. I thought it was going to end up with some kind of punchline, like, "Oh, my granddad nicked Hitler's autograph, you know, when he quit his job at the concentration camp." Yeah, it was like, "I'm taking this with us."
Oh dear.
Well, stop with the concentration camp talks. And
Yeah.
what's next? Best moment. Is it back round to me or no? It's Chris. Chris for best moment.
All right, so I've got two.
Mm.
Obviously, I've got the top one being Indy chucking the Nazi officer out of the blimp window, which we've talked about. And the second one is, do you know when they're in the castle and they're both tied up and they're circling in that wall thing? And do you know
Hilarious.
when the German lass who's like saying numbers and stuff finally clocks them and she's just like, ah!
Frau
9.
Barbissina from Austin Powers.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's just like how aggressive she goes as well. It's hilarious. But I think this is where this movie excels in, is like them little bits of humor, that little bits of like kind of adds to it. But yeah,
Love the little smile she does when she's just like, "All right, mates."
yeah.
Mine. Well, I haven't mentioned this yet, but the sorry, son. Gosh. He shoots through the back of his own plane, and he's like, "What's going on, Dad?"
Or when he's telling them, he gets in Nazis at 9 o'clock, and he's get, wait, it's only 4. It's like, oh god, that's a proper dad joke that Lee would do. But yeah,
What about yourself?
it's hard to narrow down. Like,
It really is.
I do think the train at the beginning, it's hard to beat, like going through the circus with young Indiana Jones. And again, it's weird saying that it's not a Harrison Ford moment, but it's just so well played out. It's like going from room to room, like the levels of like complexity and things, like dropping in the snakes and freaking out, then going into the lions, then escaping through like the magician's like box. Is just, the timing and everything is done. It's perfect, and how it kind of leads to like the payoff where they get home and think, oh yes, I've rescued it. And even the chief of police is like, you've just stolen it from these people. And it's like, and again, it's like the rich man kind of wins in that type of situation, but then it leads to the boat and you see the hat
transition.
going up. Yeah, it's just everything about that is just why this movie is so good. And again, just that whole transition is just perfect cinema. And I don't think there's many things that do it well. I think the only scene that comes close is the Jurassic Park scene, when it's like welcome to Jurassic Park, and they're in, and you see them looking at the Diplodocus for the Brontosauruses.
I thought you were
for
still
the first
talking about
time.
Indiana Jones, and I was like, Jurassic Park wasn't out yet.
No, I'm just like in this scene, how it works and plays. It's kind of like the same type of transition period where you see them going into Jurassic Park. You see the Godzilla scene and Godzilla gates, and you see the reaction to seeing the dinosaurs. It's just, again, you get goosebumps.
I love the transition scene that you mentioned as well, where his like hat comes up and there's Indy smiling, and you don't know what's going on, but it's just like, oh, here's this guy. Oh, look, he's having a good time, and then just whack straight in the face. And it's like, oh yes, that's why he's happy.
But it
Didn't
blows
they
it.
add this whip to the chin because Harrison Ford has a scar on his chin or something like that?
Possibly. I didn't know that, but yeah, that would make sense. Like, just
Yeah.
why he has the scar when he tries to do the whip for the first time.
Yeah.
But yes, so that was probably my best moment there. So now we'll go on to the awkward one.
Awkward boner moment. For me, this is horrific. Like, I don't know why this creeps me out more than anything from last week. Like, we had that whole brothel scene in Tokyo Gore Police with the deformed bodies, but this, when the last, what's Elsa, when she sucks on his ear, and
That's in mine as well.
it's like the Lady and the Tramp with the spaghetti scene.
But the way she goes at his ear, that's like so weird and like over the top. It's just like why? Like, I've never wanted to chew on anyone's ear or have anyone chew on my ear. Sorry if that's your fetish. Good for you. But it's just so weird. And Harrison Ford's face is like, this is weird. I'm liking it. But it's like, yeah, that whole sex scene was just weird. I didn't like it.
Half of his ear goes in her mouth, and it just proper
Yeah.
like.
It's just like, and a mouth's really weirdly shaped as well. It's like, oh, yeah.
Oh, so that's yours as well,
Yeah, so that was the same. I had that one picked out.
Chris.
Oh, right. So I couldn't think of many, right? Because I saw it for the whimsy and family adventure that it was. So I've just put when Indy and his dad realize they've both been inside the same woman for the second time.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
So, so basically, the thing is, Harrison Ford had Sean Connery's sloppy seconds.
Oh,
Yeah.
I really hope he didn't go down on that.
It was in them days. No, the men didn't do that kind of thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
Just nommed each other's ears.
I'm gonna lick your lobe, son.
Oh man. Well, last of all, then we've got to rank this film with the Grump rank. So this is just scoring the film out of 5. Paul, what would you give this out of 5? I think I already know.
10.
10.
10.
It deserves a 10 out of 5 to be fair.
Double ranked, but yeah, it's top marks.
Chris,
I'll give it a 4.
ooh, what loses points on it for you?
I think it could have done with some more Nazis dying.
You like to watch that? You wanted to see Hitler get one in between the eyes, or
Yeah,
or Indy taking a swing at Hitler would have been interesting.
yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
he would just
I think
die.
it could have been a bit
That would be the end of the
darker.
film.
'Cause this is meant to be like the more the lighter of the trilogy, wasn't it?
Mm. Yes.
I kind of like the dark.
Right.
I mean,
Chris-
it is quite dark at the end. We haven't even mentioned the guy turning into the skeleton. That is horrific.
Mm.
Like,
Oh,
kids
yeah,
will
yeah,
get
yeah.
nightmares from
Like,
that, man.
When he aged, he chose poorly and he aged really
Yeah.
quick. But if you had loads of those drinks, and remember, like the cup of Christ was the cup of Joseph, like a carpenter that's not going to have jewels and gold and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it was a bit of a stupid pick.
So, just to finish this off, then, 5 from myself as well. So it's
So
only
maybe
Chris.
touch tips.
It's only Chris letting the team down. Oh yes.
Stand by it. It's like, oh, Paul, which is the best Terminator film again? 2 or 1?
1.
Steven
I'm with Chris on that. So right, so that's everything sorted. What have we got coming up next time? Oh, I know what we've got coming up next time, Chris, but we're not going to talk about it yet. Paul, I'll tell you when we finish the episode.
Oh dear.
We've got the lovely Becca on next time, I think.
Oh
Yes. Yeah.
Is she going to be wearing nipple tassels?
Hopefully. Pasties, the goal.
Pasties.
Getting sponsored by Greg's.
Just viewer warning for next week. It's going to be horrific. We're going back to characters for the next week, and we've got someone that will give you nightmares. They may have gave you nightmares in the 90s. That's all I'm going to say.
Is it Timmy Mallet?
No, it's probably worse than Timmy Mallet. And Paul, what have we got coming up on Sunday?
Sunday we are doing The Force Awakens. So yes, we are back. So no, actually, this doesn't come out this week, does it?
Oh no,
Next week.
We said Laurel and Hardy last episode,
So,
but that's
there
the
is
one
Laurel
that's
and
going to
Hardy.
be out.
So Laurel and Hardy, Wild West, I think, or How the West Was Won. We have the lovely Jill from the Discord joining us.
Hey.
So we've managed to work out, because with her being in American time zones and stuff, so we've managed to work that quite nicely. Then the week after that, we start the Action April off. So Lee's going full combat mode. I'm expecting lots of impressions.
Is it Total Recall first, or is it Tango and Cash?
don't know if I've started the actual order out yet. I don't think. I think I've just picked the ones that's no. Yes, Tango and Cash is starting it, then Total Recall, then finishing with Dread.
So that's
I
a
am the
double-
law. So we've got them that interesting things to come up. Anime Club, I don't know what they're doing next. Monsters, they have just done what episode would they've just done? They've done Chud.
Good.
No idea.
Cannibals.
Sammy was talking about that in the Discord the other day.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Chud is the next one. Then I don't know what they're doing after that. But yes, lots of interesting stuff, lots of fun stuff. Check out like Lee's Dragon Ball stuff. As I said, it is probably one of the best stuff that we are putting out. By far, it's the most entertaining. But yes, we are in April now, so that is 4 months. So we've got 6 months left. No, 4. So we've got 8 months left of Paul. Then Paul is fucking off forever.
We don't believe you. You'll be back.
I'll be back.
And I think that's it then. Unless Chris, have you got anything else that you want to say?
Yeah, I think Paul said it all. Everything that's coming up. We're doing Freyr.
Or was that your anime club thing?
Yeah, Friday. We're doing Freyr.
Cool winter. But yeah, lots of fun stuff, lots of entertaining stuff, lots of stuff on the website. Like I said, join us on the Discord, join us in the Facebook group. Just have fun. Just be nerds. Just don't be a dick, because loads of people be dicks, and I'm just trying to be nice and be friendly. And remember, don't be a grump, be a top grump.
Thanks, guys. Same bad time, same bad channel.
Stay nerdy, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Top Grumps! Top Grumps! The bad boys and none are back again. You won't catch us scoring out of 10.